Well, I just got off the phone with my friend, and we got into one of the dumbest arguments that I've ever been in. And I only have two friends, and so I try and pick quality people and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know. So basically, he called me, and we're just bullshitting, having a good time in general. Okay, and he's in another state. So we're talking, we're bullshitting, and I saw this video with, I think the guy's name is Charlie Kirk or something like that. He goes to college campuses and argues about freedoms or whatever. And I watched this debate where a student, he was talking to a student, and he said that something to the effect. I don't remember the exact half. It was a 1 minute clip on Instagram or something. But it said something to the effect of like, Trump had never started another war and this is the part I don't remember exactly, but it was something to the effect of, or got us involved in a foreign conflict. Right? So we didn't start a war, and we also didn't just go to another war that had nothing to do with us and then just go get involved in it, And for some reason, I didn't realize it in the moment, but he found that super triggering. Because I followed it up by saying, because then he immediately challenged the idea. He immediately was like, what? That's not true. What about Ronald Reagan? And he mentioned somebody else, like Clinton or whatever. And then, so, I immediately said, and that's when I then said, like, well, I don't know for sure. That's what Charlie said. I'm taking what he said at face value. Okay, so I already admitted my naivety to the scenarios and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But I'm taking what he said at face value. So then he started going on this big rant about the guy's economic plan and all the things he did. And I'm sitting here like, okay, this is interesting, but this has nothing to do with starting a war or sending soldiers to foreign soil in a war that had nothing to do with us. Like, his economic, creating the Department of Energy, yeah, good job. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, though. So I just sit here quietly while he goes on this super long rant, totally off topic, and not addressing any of the points I said. So somewhere through this rant, I get on AI. I get on AI, ChatGPT or whatever. And I can't show you the screen. Can I show you the screen? No, I can't show you the screen. Do I still have it up? I do. Okay, so you can see me, but I can't see you. So I just chatted, but Googled. What conflicts was Reagan responsible for? And then this is the list I told him. Ronald Reagan, during his presidency in 1981 to 1989, was involved in several conflicts and military actions often tied to a strong anti-communist stance and foreign policy initiatives. These include blah, 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 blah. There's 7 of them. So I read these off, and basically he then got... Oops, is that going to make sound? I don't remember how to work my computer. There I am. Okay. So then he eventually then goes on this rant. Like, he wants to say something, so I stop talking. And then he just goes on this tirade about how, because he's driving... One, he shouldn't be on the phone then, right? Just throw that out there. But he's currently driving, and so he can't Google. And of course, he doesn't know that much about Reagan. After, by the way, early in the argument, I openly made, like, I've never studied Ronald Reagan. But what I have studied is politics. I'm a loser that sits inside my house and does nothing all day besides sitting in front of his computer trying desperately to create social media but lacking the will, because in general I don't care about it. So what I do study is things that I'm passionate about and interested in, which are things like politics. And then when other people show up, in this particular case my friend, who doesn't know what they're talking about and only vaguely can see, like, it's an iceberg. You understand this much. There's all this down below, and I only know like this much of what's down below. I don't know about all that, the Illuminati stuff and whatever else. My point is, we both said we don't know about that. So I looked up the information, and now I know a little bit more. And I told him, so now he would know a little bit more. But because it proved his arguments wrong, that Reagan was a great Republican president that everybody liked, which is basically the counter to my initial point, was like Trump was a good president because he's one of the only ones that did blah, 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 blah. Yeah, his whole argument fell apart. And then he got upset that he couldn't Google and drive at the same time to prove himself wrong before I could prove him wrong. He said, if I could have Googled, I would have found that out for myself. Okay, guy. Okay. Whatever. Whatever makes you happy. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is supposed to be my friend. Have a little bit of humility. Like, I don't understand. And finally, by the way, we get to the end of this. I eventually hang up. It becomes to. I'm talking to a child at a point, but at some point he kept saying like, "Phil, you do this. You always do this. You always do that. Blame, 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 blame." Right? And so I said like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I upset you. I'm sorry that blah blah blah." I told him about my tea when he first called. He asked, what was going on in your life, and I told him I started drinking tea. And told him a little bit about it. So then he started attacking me like, oh, your tea story, he didn't use the word overshare, that became my word. I forget how he worded it. But he goes, you talk too much, essentially is what he said. And I was like, I'm sorry for oversharing. And then he just, again, the blame, blame, blame. There's other things I can't remember right now. It literally just happened, so I'm still in the moment. And I finally after, like, I said sorry like 4 or 5 times, like solid memory, 4 or 5 times. I finally started to try and talk over him. I'm like, due to my mounting frustration, try to talk over him. And I was like, hey, you're berating me. Stop. You're berating me. I feel like you are berating me. I literally was saying this the way I just said it, or very, very close to. I was like, stop, guys, stop. You're berating me. I feel like you're... And he was like, you're berating me. I'm like... And finally, that's about the time I hung up. I was like, nope, I can't. And then I'm not going to read the text and stuff because it's private, and I haven't said I was going to do any of that kind of stuff, so I won't. But then he starts bickering with me over texting, trying to use reverse psychology, cussing, name calling, blaming, and the entire time, playing victim. That's the big one. And the entire time, not one sorry back for anything, even after I had to yell over him and say, hey, you're berating me. I've apologized multiple times. Please stop. I literally said 3 or 4 times in a row, please stop, with about 2 of them in silence. So I know, because he's just driving, it's not like there's a lot of noise. And I know he heard it and then just decided to jump back into it. And so I hung up. I'm like, no. And by the way, if your friends treat you like that in general, definitely question if it's worth talking to him or hanging out. The only reason I talk and hang out with this guy still is he was military with me, and at this point, I only have 2 friends, and he's one. I can't really afford to lose very many right now. But if you want to like, subscribe, and give a comment and stuff, I might be able to get better, more solid people around me who share my mindset, who won't get triggered because they can't Google and drive in the same time and prove themselves wrong before I prove them wrong, just because I like to argue, even though I'm not the one who threw out the challenge. He did. I said the other guy said it. It wasn't even my stance. And I said that it was I'm taking it at his face value. I didn't do any research. I also said, I don't know that much about the era. I haven't studied that era. I also said, but in general, I do know more about politics than you because I have the time, energy, resources to study it and learn and watch because I find it interesting. At best, you dabble in it. And this also hurt his feelings. Like, no, I brought up stuff that you didn't know about because of the Reagan stuff. Yeah, and then we're like, showed you the information that said you were also wrong about it because you didn't know about it just like I didn't know about it. You just got more butthurt. So, yeah, next time I'm going to tell him, assuming he ever talks to me again. I was kind of mean during my responses with the text. I didn't cuss or anything, but I just pointed out all the fallacies he was using, like reverse psychology, name calling, victimhood, things like that. And so he may not respond. But assuming I talk to him again, I'm gonna start recording all of our conversations, and so that way, because it's right here on my thing. I just put my phone up here normally. Where is my phone? I'll find it later. So I normally just put it up there, so like it'll be on speakerphone, so y'all will hear it. Because maybe I am wrong. Maybe I'm blind. Maybe I'm blindsided, and I can't see what's going on, tunnel vision, because I'm so arrogant and entitled, and I just always want to be right, and I just argue with everyone around me because it's the only thing I live for, or whatever it is that these people say about me. So I'm gonna find out, but that's how I feel right now in the moment. I doubt you learned anything in this particular episode, but that's what's currently going on in my personal life, I guess. I'm on track to get my business going. For those of you that like when I overshare, I'm on track to getting my business up and going. Again, now that I have the direction that the job got ripped away from me, essentially. Told I was hired, even got a paycheck. They're like, wait a couple months for tax season, and then they're like, well, we actually hired. Like, I waited, and then tax season showed up, and they're like, well, actually, we hired somebody else. So it is what it is. But like I said, I'm going. I know where I need to go on that one now. So I'm making good progress on that. I'll keep you posted. I haven't cleaned out the roach thing yet, and I did post a video of me and Daisy playing. Oh, we had a lot of fun. It had 5 views. It gave 24 hours. It had 5 views. So I mean, like my average view rate is 2. So in general, that's over 100% increase. I don't think that's obviously not just. I don't think. I know that's not sustainable. Can't always have over 100% viewership on every single increase on every single viewership, right? Let alone 100% views per video, or whatever, right? That's kind of thing. But you know, so all that's going well. So I may just come on here in my vlog style to rant about the current thing that happened on my day off, almost ruining my day off. This is actually fairly therapeutic. I might do this more often, actually. So with all that being said, please leave a comment and like down below. Subscribe. I'd enjoy that, especially if you enjoy this. Please tell me your stories and let me read them, or whatever else. Reach out. I love just being on front of it. If I could get enough subscribers to get sponsored and stuff, to be just sit here and read things all day, I would love that. Love that. Help me help you. Help me help you. So with that, I'm gonna sign out and yeah, see you next time. See you next time on the next episode.